Question 1. Which organ system is responsible for the production of hormones? A. Nervous system. B. Digestive system. C. Endocrine system. D. Muscular system. Answer: C. Endocrine system. Rationale: the endocrine system is responsible for the production and secretion of hormones, which regulate various functions in the body. The other systems listed are not primarily responsible for hormone production. Question 2. What is the main function of the mitochondria in the cell? A. Protein synthesis. B. Energy production. C. Genetic material storage. D. Detoxification. Answer: B. Energy production. Rationale: mitochondria are often referred to as the powerhouse of the cell because they generate ATP, the primary energy carrier in cells. Other options refer to functions performed by other organelles, like the ribosomes or the nucleus. Question 3. Which of the following structures is responsible for gas exchange in the lungs? A. Bronchi. B. Alveoli. C. Trachea. D. Pleura. Answer: B. Alveoli. Rationale: alveoli are tiny air sacs in the lungs where gas exchange occurs, allowing oxygen to enter the bloodstream and carbon dioxide to be expelled. The other structures are involved in the passage of air, but do not facilitate gas exchange. Question 4. Which of the following is a function of the kidneys? A. Hormone production. B. Oxygen transport. C. Filtration of waste products. D. Temperature regulation. Answer: C. Filtration of waste products. Rationale: the kidneys filter waste products from the blood, helping to regulate fluid balance and remove toxins from the body. While the kidneys also produce hormones, their primary function is filtration. Question 5. What is the primary role of red blood cells in the body? A. Fighting infections. B. Carrying oxygen to tissues. C. Clotting blood. D. Producing antibodies. Answer: B. Carrying oxygen to tissues. Rationale: red blood cells contain hemoglobin, which binds oxygen and carries it to tissues throughout the body. While white blood cells fight infections, red blood cells' main role is oxygen transport. Question 6. Which structure connects muscles to bones? A. Ligaments. B. Tendons. C. Cartilage. D. Synovial fluid. Answer: B. Tendons. Rationale: tendons are strong, flexible connective tissues that attach muscles to bones, allowing movement. Ligaments connect bones to bones, cartilage provides cushioning, and synovial fluid lubricates joints. Question 7. Which part of the brain controls vital functions, such as heart rate and respiration? A. Cerebrum. B. Cerebellum. C. Medulla oblongata. D. Thalamus. Answer: C. Medulla oblongata. Rationale: the medulla oblongata, located in the brainstem, regulates vital functions like heart rate, respiration, and blood pressure. The cerebrum is involved in higher brain functions, while the cerebellum coordinates movement and balance. Question 8. What is the primary function of the digestive system? A. Regulation of blood pressure. B. Absorption of nutrients. C. Protection from pathogens. D. Synthesis of hormones. Answer: B. Absorption of nutrients. Rationale: the primary function of the digestive system is to break down food and absorb nutrients necessary for energy, growth, and repair. While it also has protective functions, nutrient absorption is its main role. Question 9. Which structure in the heart prevents blood from flowing backward into the atria? A. Pulmonary valve. B. Mitral valve. C. Aortic valve. D. Tricuspid valve. Answer: B. Mitral valve. Rationale: the mitral valve controls the flow of blood from the left atrium into the left ventricle, preventing backflow. The tricuspid valve performs a similar function on the right side, but the question specifies the left side. Question 10. Which of the following is the most significant method for maintaining homeostasis? A. Respiratory system. B. Nervous system. C. Endocrine system. D. Negative feedback mechanisms. Answer: D. Negative feedback mechanisms. Rationale: negative feedback mechanisms are vital for maintaining homeostasis by regulating processes such as body temperature, blood pressure, and hormone levels. While the respiratory, nervous, and endocrine systems play key roles, negative feedback is the primary method of regulation. Question 11. The heart's right ventricle pumps blood to which of the following? A. Lungs. B. Systemic circulation. C. Left atrium. D. Right atrium. Answer: A. Lungs. Rationale: the right ventricle pumps deoxygenated blood to the lungs for oxygenation. The left side of the heart pumps oxygenated blood to the systemic circulation. Question 12. True or false? The pancreas is both an endocrine and exocrine gland. A. True. B. False. Answer: A. True. Rationale: the pancreas has both endocrine functions, insulin production, and exocrine functions, production of digestive enzymes. Question 13. The primary function of the large intestine is to A. Digest food. B. Absorb water and electrolytes. C. Store bile. D. Absorb nutrients. Answer: B. Absorb water and electrolytes. Rationale: the large intestine mainly absorbs water and electrolytes, concentrating waste for elimination. The small intestine is responsible for nutrient absorption. Question 14. Which of the following cells are responsible for the immune response in the body? A. Erythrocytes. B. Neurons. C. Leukocytes. D. Platelets. Answer: C. Leukocytes. Rationale: leukocytes, white blood cells, are responsible for the immune response, fighting off infections. Erythrocytes transport oxygen, platelets aid clotting, and neurons transmit nerve signals. Question 15. Select all that apply. Which of the following are components of the central nervous system, CNS? A. Brain. B. Spinal cord. C. Nerves. D. Ganglia. Answer: A. Brain. B. Spinal cord. Rationale: the CNS includes the brain and spinal cord. Nerves and ganglia are part of the peripheral nervous system, PNS. Question 16. True or false? The myelin sheath increases the speed of nerve signal transmission. A. True. B. False. Answer: A. True. Rationale: the myelin sheath, formed by Schwann cells in the PNS and oligodendrocytes in the CNS, insulates nerve fibers and increases the speed of electrical impulse conduction. Question 17. The liver is involved in all of the following functions except A. Detoxification. B. Protein synthesis. C. Production of insulin. D. Bile production. Answer: C. Production of insulin. Rationale: the liver produces bile, detoxifies substances, and synthesizes proteins, but insulin production is carried out by the pancreas. Question 18. Which of the following is a function of the skeletal system? A. Circulating oxygen. B. Producing red blood cells. C. Storing digestive enzymes. D. Controlling muscle contractions. Answer: B. Producing red blood cells. Rationale: the skeletal system, specifically the bone marrow, produces red blood cells. It does not circulate oxygen or store digestive enzymes, which are functions of other systems. Question 19. Which of the following is an example of passive transport in cells? A. Active transport. B. Osmosis. C. Pinocytosis. D. Phagocytosis. Answer: B. Osmosis. Rationale: osmosis is the passive movement of water across a semi-permeable membrane, requiring no energy. The other options involve active processes. Question 20. Select all that apply. The components of blood include A. Plasma. B. Red blood cells. C. Lymphocytes. D. Nerve cells. Answer: A. Plasma. B. Red blood cells. C. Lymphocytes. Rationale. Blood components include plasma, red blood cells, and lymphocytes, a type of white blood cell. Nerve cells are not found in blood. Question 21. Which organ is responsible for the majority of nutrient absorption in the body? A. Stomach. B. Small intestine. C. Large intestine. D. Liver. Answer. B. Small intestine. Rationale. The small intestine is the main site of nutrient absorption. The stomach primarily digests food, and the large intestine absorbs water. Question 22. True or false? The lymphatic system helps in transporting oxygen throughout the body. A. True. B. False. Answer. B. False. Rationale. The lymphatic system is involved in immune defense and fluid balance, not oxygen transport, which is the role of the circulatory system. Question 23. Which of the following is not a function of the integumentary system? A. Temperature regulation. B. Protection from pathogens. C. Sensory perception. D. Absorption of nutrients. Answer. D. Absorption of nutrients. Rationale. The integumentary system, including the skin, regulates temperature, protects from pathogens, and provides sensory input, but does not absorb nutrients. Question 24. Select all that apply. Which of the following are components of a lymphatic system? A. Lymph nodes. B. Spleen. C. Liver. D. Bone marrow. Answer. A. Lymph nodes. B. Spleen. Rationale. The lymphatic system includes lymph nodes, the spleen, and lymph vessels. The liver and bone marrow are not part of the lymphatic system. Question 25. The process of converting glucose into energy is known as A. Glycolysis. B. Gluconeogenesis. C. Glycogenesis. D. Lipogenesis. Answer. A. Glycolysis. Rationale. Glycolysis is the breakdown of glucose to produce energy, ATP. The other processes are involved in glucose production or fat synthesis. Question 26. Which part of the brain is responsible for balance and coordination? A. Cerebrum. B. Cerebellum. C. Medulla oblongata. D. Hypothalamus. Answer. B. Cerebellum. Rationale. The cerebellum is responsible for balance, coordination, and fine motor control. The cerebrum controls higher functions, and the medulla oblongata regulates vital functions. Question 27. True or false? The sympathetic nervous system is responsible for the rest and digest response. A. True. B. False. Answer. B. False. Rationale. The parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for the rest and digest response, while the sympathetic nervous system triggers the fight or flight response. Question 28. Which of the following is the primary role of platelets in the blood? A. Oxygen transport. B. Blood clotting. C. Immune defense. D. Nutrient transport. Answer. B. Blood clotting. Rationale. Platelets play a key role in blood clotting by aggregating and forming clots to prevent bleeding. Erythrocytes transport oxygen, while leukocytes defend against infection. Question 29. Select all that apply. Which of the following are part of the respiratory system? A. Lungs. B. Trachea. C. Heart. D. Diaphragm. Answer. A. Lungs. B. Trachea. D. Diaphragm. Rationale. The respiratory system includes the lungs, trachea, and diaphragm. The heart is part of the circulatory system. Question 30. The process by which cells divide to produce two identical daughter cells is called A. Meiosis. B. Mitosis. C. Fertilization. D. Transcription. Answer. B. Mitosis. Rationale. Mitosis is the process by which a cell divides to produce two genetically identical daughter cells. Meiosis produces reproductive cells with half the chromosome number. Question 31. Which structure in the brain is primarily responsible for regulating body temperature? A. Medulla oblongata. B. Cerebellum. C. Hypothalamus. D. Pons. Answer: C. Hypothalamus. Rationale: the hypothalamus regulates various bodily functions, including body temperature, hunger, and thirst. The medulla oblongata controls vital functions, and the cerebellum coordinates movement. Question 32. True or false? The small intestine is primarily responsible for the digestion of proteins. A. True. B. False. Answer: A. True. Rationale: the small intestine, particularly the duodenum, is the main site for digestion and absorption of nutrients, including proteins. The stomach also plays a role in protein digestion, but to a lesser extent. Question 33. Which type of connective tissue stores energy in the form of fat? A. Cartilage. B. Bone. C. Adipose tissue. D. Blood. Answer: C. Adipose tissue. Rationale: adipose tissue, or fat, stores energy and provides insulation and cushioning for organs. Cartilage provides structure and flexibility, bone supports the body, and blood transports nutrients. Question 34. Select all that apply. Which of the following are functions of the lymphatic system? A. Immunity. B. Fluid balance. C. Oxygen transport. D. Nutrient absorption. Answer: A. Immunity. B. Fluid balance. Rationale: the lymphatic system helps with immunity by transporting lymphocytes and maintaining fluid balance by collecting excess fluid from tissues. Oxygen transport and nutrient absorption are functions of other systems. Question 35. The primary function of the villi in the small intestine is to A. Secrete digestive enzymes. B. Absorb nutrients. C. Produce bile. D. Store glycogen. Answer: B. Absorb nutrients. Rationale: villi are tiny finger-like projections in the small intestine that increase surface area for nutrient absorption. Digestive enzymes are secreted by the pancreas. Bile is produced by the liver, and glycogen is stored in the liver. Question 36. True or false? The adrenal glands produce hormones that regulate stress and metabolism. A. True. B. False. Answer: A. True. Rationale: the adrenal glands produce hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which regulate the body's response to stress and play a role in metabolism. Question 37. Which of the following is the primary role of the renal system? A. Circulating oxygen. B. Filtering waste products from the blood. C. Regulating body temperature. D. Synthesizing proteins. Answer: B. Filtering waste products from the blood. Rationale: the renal system, including the kidneys, is responsible for filtering waste products and excess fluid from the blood to form urine. It does not circulate oxygen, regulate temperature, or synthesize proteins. Question 38. The blood-brain barrier protects the brain by A. Preventing the entry of harmful substances. B. Producing cerebrospinal fluid. C. Regulating blood flow to the brain. D. Storing glucose for brain function. Answer: A. Preventing the entry of harmful substances. Rationale: the blood-brain barrier is a selective permeability barrier that prevents harmful substances in the blood from entering the brain. It does not produce cerebrospinal fluid, regulate blood flow, or store glucose. Question 39. Which part of the neuron transmits signals away from the cell body? A. Dendrites. B. Axon. C. Soma. D. Synapse. Answer: B. Axon. Rationale: the axon transmits electrical impulses away from the neuron cell body. Dendrites receive signals. The soma contains the nucleus, and the synapse is the junction where neurons communicate. Question 40. True or false? The endocrine system is slower than the nervous system in transmitting signals. A. True. B. False. Answer: A. True. Rationale: the endocrine system uses hormones to transmit signals, which are slower and longer lasting than the electrical impulses transmitted by the nervous system. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow nursing students. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next one. Happy studying.